Om Shanti. In today's Murli, we will first begin with the slogan. So Baba says, to become a destroyer of obstacles, become full of all powers. To become a destroyer of obstacles, become full of all powers. So you see that there was this brother, and he was telling me some days back that when he was leaving home, his father started asking too many questions according to him. Okay, so his father only asked 4 questions actually. Okay, so where are you going? What is the purpose? What are you thinking you will get there? And something else. Okay, so there were only 4 questions the father asked, but the child was like very embittered, and he got very frustrated, and he started thinking about how and then he said, I didn't want to answer, and then he forced me to answer, and then I didn't like it. So he said, my whole day's mood was spoiled by my father. So, so I told him, so it's very easy to spoil your mood, is it? So now I know that it's very easy to spoil your mood, so we can also do the same. So you see that these days, what people call obstacles are very little things. And whether something is a little thing or a big thing doesn't really depend on what is outside. It depends on how spiritually powerful you are vis-a-vis the situation outside. Yes, so it's not about the size of the situation, it's about the state of your mind. So if you are in a powerless state, then obviously everything on the outside looks like a problem, an obstacle, an insurmountable problem sometimes. And then once you are in your spiritual stage, good spiritual stage, then everything looks like a small thing, a little thing that's come your way and you can cross it. Now, the rule of energy is it flows from high to low. Yes, so if your spiritual stage is higher, so if the state of your mind is more powerful than this power of the obstacle, then you will be able to affect that. So let's use these words positivity and negativity. So if you are more positive than the negative that is outside you, the power of negativity is less than the power of your positivity, then your positivity will flow to the negativity. And if something is negative, but you are also equally negative or you are less positive, then that will start affecting you. And we very well know that you cannot do anything to what is outside. You cannot really change the situation. And even if you change one situation, another one is just waiting, beside it. So another one comes up. So then all our effort should go into becoming full of all powers. Now, we know that every soul is by design powerful. So we are peaceful, pure, loveful, blissful, happy, and powerful. We know that. But because we have not used our powers, so the powers are not available to us right now. If we don't use it, we lose it, right? And why have we not used our powers? Because we have been taught that you should change the situation, not use your power. You should invest your energy in averting the situation and not use your energy to invoke your powers. Yes, so ever since we were born, we were not told that tolerating is a good thing or you should try to tolerate. Yes, so we were taught, or everybody around us said, I cannot tolerate this, or this will not be tolerated. And we learned that that's a good way to approach situations. Tell that I won't tolerate it, or this will not be tolerated. So this is how we talked about all situations. So even about, discernment or decision making, or, the power to pack up or the power to withdraw your attention from whatever is outside. We were never taught to use these powers, were we? We did not even know that these powers exist. But these are spiritual powers. So you have the power to behave like a tortoise and just withdraw your attention from everything outside and pull it inside. Yes? But have you used that power? So, the other day there was one brother and I was giving him the course. And after that, so that was his first day. And then I asked him to just, focus his attention on my eyes externally. So just rest his eyes on my eyes. And then I told him that now you just take your attention within and see that you are a soul sitting in the center of the forehead. So he said, I cannot rest my eyes on your eyes and pull my attention within. I don't know how to do that. So when I am looking at your eyes, I'm just looking at your eyes. I cannot see the soul. So I don't know how to do both these things. So I told him, you see that when you are just, in your imagination and somebody crosses in front of your eyes and then somebody asks you, did this person cross? You say, no, my attention was somewhere and I didn't see. So you know how to do that, right? So he said, yes, I know how to do that, but that just happens. I don't know how to do it. Do you get it? So I said, yes, so you don't know how to do it consciously, but now that I tell you, you know that that power exists inside you. So you can keep your eyes open and still think about something else. Do you have that capacity or not? He said, yes, I have that capacity, but I don't know how to invoke it. It just comes sometimes, sometimes I'm just dreaming with open eyes. That's okay. But it doesn't come at my calling. So do you see that we have these spiritual powers and we are very aware of it also. So when Baba tells us, you know that you have the power to tolerate, you have the power to withdraw, you have the power to pack up. When do you pack up? Before you go to sleep. Yes, so if you don't have the power to pack up, you cannot go to sleep. So before you go to sleep, you take a decision that everything in this world has to stay here and I have to now sleep. Yes, so jo hota hai ho jaye, hai na? Then you say, let this world deal with its stuff and I have to just sleep now. And then you make a decision, you use your power to pack up and then you sleep. You go to your sweet silence home. You take your attention there. Now Baba says, why can't you do that before that 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock or 10:30? You can do this many times a day. So you just have to know that you have the power to pack up. So now Baba says that this is your spiritual power, and you are many a times in the day you use it, but you don't use it consciously. So I think, when somebody asks me what is Raj Yoga, so I always tell them it is conscious living. It is not something too much, it is conscious living. You are doing the same things, you're just doing it consciously. So, every person thinks, everyone has a buddhi, everyone has a sanskar, but we are just using them consciously. So it is about knowing what's there and using it consciously. That's Raj Yoga. So Baba says that now I tell you to become aware that you have these powers within you. You have the power of attention, you have the power to create thoughts, you have the power to withdraw your attention whenever you want, you have the power to pack up and just become a point, free from all the worries and thoughts of this world whenever you want. You have the power to tolerate whatever comes your way. You have the power to face, you have the power to discern and decide and cooperate. And Baba says that now you use them consciously. And when you use them consciously, then that power becomes more and more available to you, and it also, grows in strength. So when you exercise your powers, you become aware of them, and you also increase your capacity, your spiritual capacity, your spiritual powers. So Baba says, and then when you use them often, then when there is a situation suddenly and you invoke your power, it will come to you. Yes, otherwise it will fail you. So you start exercising your powers during the day. Yes, if it is too cold, ask your body to, I'm not asking you to not wear warm clothes or not switch on the fan or AC, but also pull up your power to tolerate. So, until you find the warm clothes and wear them, don't utter this word, it is too cold, I can't bear it. So, just know that you have the power to tolerate. It is okay. You can just find your warm clothes without complaining and put them on. So in these little situations, just use the power to tolerate. And you can see that your body can go through a lot of, even physical pain. So when there is a physical pain, so there are most of the times you see there is some little or high intensity pain in the body. And even if you take the anti-inflammatory or you take the painkillers, still, the pain is not completely dealt with these days, because again, the body gets used to it. So pull up your power to tolerate. For small pains, don't take the painkiller. Just pull up your power to tolerate. And tell yourself that you can tolerate this. If there is something in your surrounding, somebody's behavior, somebody's words, which you earlier thought you can't tolerate, just tell yourself it's not too much, you can deal with it. And see how much power of tolerance you have. And Baba says, when you do this by choice And when you become very aware of your powers and your powers are well exercised and developed, then you will be able to call out to them when time needs you to. And especially because Baba is preparing us for the scene of destruction. So at that time, we will need all these powers. So Baba says at that time, they will come at your calling when you have practiced them enough. So Baba has given us the knowledge of our virtues. So many people say, I can't talk sweetly. Yes, but Baba says sweetness is a virtue of the soul. Everybody can talk sweetly. What is the big deal in it? Yes, have you tried talking sweetly? Have you tried talking softly? Have you tried talking less? So Baba says, if you try, you will figure out that these virtues are your own virtues. Have you tried patience? Have you tried determination? So just know that you are a soul and these virtues, these powers are your own property. Never say, I can't do this or I don't have this quality. Every quality is present in every soul. And if you just invoke it and exercise it, apply it, you will realize that it's there within you. Yes, and every soul, when you paint a picture of a deity, although every deity is different, still they are also similar because divine virtues and spiritual powers are part of the framework of every soul. So this is why self-awareness is so important. We didn't know that these things exist inside of us. And now that we know, we have to, with that deep knowing, we have to apply it and realize it. So it is knowledge and then experimentation and then realization. So this is how we have to proceed. So are you experimenting with the knowledge? So Baba is giving us so much of knowledge about our form, our state, our capacities, virtues, powers. So are we taking up the knowledge and are we experimenting with it and are we coming to the realization of our virtues and powers? So can you think of at least one virtue which you didn't know you have but now you do? So after coming to Baba, at least, you become, after coming to Baba, you realize that earlier you thought you don't have this virtue, but now you see that you are capable of it. Or this one power and you know that you are capable of it. And I can see from your faces that at least there is one. Yes. So if there is one, it's one or two or three because you experimented with that. And if you experiment with all of them, then you will see that you have all the virtues and all the powers that Baba says they are spiritual powers because you are a soul. And by virtue of your being, you have all those powers and virtues. Yes, and let's say introversion, staying in the company of Baba. So there are many people today who think that they cannot stay alone. Yes, but Baba says that every soul has the power of introversion. You can stay in with yourself and with Baba all the time. There is no need for a human being. Yes, and this doesn't mean you start avoiding human beings. So you don't have a problem with human beings, you don't need them. You get it? So you are neutral about their existence and you are happy with yourself and with Baba. and whoever is around you, good, but they don't bother you, they don't matter. So that's the kind of capacity that every soul has. We are not born to, be, we are not born to, we are not born in fives or tens or in twos or threes. We come alone, we go alone. And we can, and if there is somebody around us, they are not for providing what we want to feel, but they are for expressing what we contain inside. So all of these things are spiritual truths, and we have to experiment with them and experience it and know that this is the truth. Yes. Um, and I think that, you can accept change only when you are not dependent on the present state. So yesterday somebody was crying over phone and saying that, Didi, you should never consider a person to be the fulcrum of your life, because people change. So people always change, they continuously change. So that's why if you think that this person is the center of my life, then you will ultimately cry. So then I said, then what should you consider the center of your life now? So then that person said that, I think, your work or your possessions. So I said, and do you think they don't change? So they have not changed for you right now, but even they will change. Yes, so if you think that people change fast and positions and jobs are more durable, then maybe they are durable, they look durable right now, but then how much time does it take to lose your job? So even that is not durable, even that is not permanent. So then that person got thinking and they said, then Didi, what do we hold on to? It's so difficult. So said that's why you have to realize that you come alone, you go alone, and you in this relationship with Baba is always enough. So you can deal with everything, with people, with the change of people, with the change of situations. Everything around you is bound to change, and every change can be dealt with if you know who you really are and that Baba is with you. So that's the only thing that doesn't change. So we must understand these things, because people think that don't love people because they will leave you. So love your job, but even that can leave you. Love your house, that can also leave you. So then love what? So love who you are. So you are a peaceful being, you have virtues, you have powers, and those virtues and your powers are your assets, and you pull them up and deal with whatever change is going on outside. Yes, but just like you take so much effort and time out to build your house or find a job or build a position or build a relationship outside, so you need to invest that much of time and effort in reclaiming your spiritual powers and virtues. So that's what Baba tells us today. And then you see that today's Murli is about, so these days you hear a lot of people saying that, why is God just sitting and watching what is going on in the world? And why is he not doing anything about it? So people are dying, there is disease, there are wars, there is so much stuff. And does God's heart not melt? And why does he not come for us? And where is God? And is he there or not there? So Baba says, I I am the one who you call out to when you are in distress. So children, devotees all call out to me, and I definitely come. So when everybody is calling out to me, it cannot be that I don't come. I definitely come. I definitely come when the world needs me. And he has come. And he came before the cries, got louder and louder. So he came in 1936. So before all this, before the world started going through so much of turbulence, God had already come, because God doesn't wait for children to wail and cry and be distressed. So Baba says, who said I don't come? I am Bhakt Vatsalam. So I love my children and my devotees. And because of that love, I leave my home and come for you children. And Baba says, and because of my love, I come and teach you Raj Yoga. So Baba says that I come and teach you what to do so that you can, move to a better world, or how can you deal with what is going on in this world. And Baba says today that, but the thing is, I come when I'm needed, I give what is needed, but do you cooperate with me? So, do you become my helper, or do you listen to me? Do you do as I say? That's the question. So, I definitely come. You cannot say that we are calling out to God and God is just watching. No, He has come. He has come. He is sitting in this old world. He is telling us the cure, the method. But are we ready to adopt the method? That's the thing. And Baba says that the basis of Raj Yoga is purity. So first thing that I tell you is, stop this sword of lust. And this lust is responsible for the state of the world today. So Baba says, do you stop it? And just look at how much of man's energy and time and thought is today wasted in lust. You look at all the entertainment industry. Yes, and everybody is glued to their phones these days, and phones are consuming so much of thought and so much of time of man. And the whole human resource is being sucked up by this phone. And what is it that you watch on the phone? It's all vicious, this lust, anger, ego, attachment, and greed. Or every content is based on that. And look at all the thoughts that we create all day, and all our actions and their motivations. They are all vicious. So Baba says, I'm asking you to give up your vices. And why don't you do that? Your vices are the cause of wastage. Your vices are the cause of vikarma. Your vices are the cause of sorrow. And when I come, I am asking you to give up your vices, and why don't you do that? And you keep blaming me that I'm not coming, that I'm not looking after you, I'm not looking after the benefit of the world. But I have come. It's your time to cooperate with me. And today Baba in the Murli very well says, Baba says The Father is now sitting personally in front of you children. The Father says, would I not have the thought, now that everyone has become impure, I should go and teach them Raj Yoga and make them pure? This is my duty every cycle. So you don't teach me my duty, I do my duty. Yes, Baba says, this is what I do every cycle, and I have come to do that. Although everyone calls out at this time, they don't have that love. So you are calling out to God, but then you don't have love for God enough to listen to what He is saying. You now understand the whole drama. The Father says, I have come to purify you. At least listen to what I say. At least listen to what I say. Even sannyasis renounce these vices. Baba says, I am not the first one telling you that vices are the problem. Even in sannyas dharam, in every religion, they know that lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, these names are not new to us. So in the scriptures, sannyasis, everybody says that this is the cause of sorrow. And Baba says that sannyasis also, for renouncing vices, they leave homes. They think that they cannot stay pure in the family, so they leave the home. So everybody knows that this is the problem. And Baba says their renunciation is limited. Ours is unlimited renunciation of the whole world. Baba says, but they don't know their spiritual power. They don't have self-awareness. So they are not able to renounce their vices through spiritual power. They have to leave the external situation to renounce the vice. But Baba says, now you know that you can stay pure, you can stay peaceful, come what may. And I teach you how to, that you're my child, and just like I'm a being and I'm a small point and I'm the ocean of peace, purity, love, bliss. I come in this impure world, I'm still myself. So you can also be like me as you are my child, and you can renounce the vices. But do you do that? So Baba is today giving an answer to all our complaints. Yes, and then Baba today says in the Murli that, so there are some children who, when Maya attacks them, they leave Baba. So Baba says, you should be amazed at how he makes the whole impure world pure. At every step, follow the directions of the Father who gives you the inheritance for 21 births. Maya is very powerful. You say Baba, Baba, you study, and then because of the influence of Maya, you divorce the Father. Yes, so there are children, till yesterday they were sitting in the class and now they are gone. Why? Because of Maya. So Maya got you attracted, Maya got you repulsed. So I'll tell you the story of one Baba's child, and that girl said, I cannot stay pure, so I have to get married, so I can't be with Baba. But then she left Baba. It's been quite some time, but she didn't find a suitable match either. And then now she is not with Baba, not with anybody. And then some days back I was talking to her, and then she said, you see, these days it's very difficult to find a match. So I said, it is difficult to be pure, it is difficult to find a match. Which one is more difficult? So she said, I don't know. So I said, after you find a match, you will figure out that it is difficult to be pure but impossible to find a match of your liking. Yes, so we don't understand that, we are living in times when Maya is just deceiving us. Maya says happiness is not in purity, happiness is not in discipline, is in this. But then you don't find that happiness there. You just keep running after it. Yes, and the whole world for the last 2500 years, nobody became happy. Yes, so I'll tell you one thing. So I saw a parent and a child having a conversation, and the parents keep fighting with each other. And the father said to the girl, "It's very important to get married." And then the girl said, "But I have never seen that you were ever happy with the marriage. So I saw both of you fighting always. So why do you suggest that I get married?" Then the father said, "You see, beta, I made some mistakes, so our relationship was not good. But if you don't make the same mistakes, you will have a happy life." And the child asked, "What makes you think I'll not make those mistakes?" So, everybody is saying that I made a mistake, but if you do it better, if you do it, more intensely, you will become happy. So, that same money, that same relationship which couldn't give me happiness will give you happiness. And we keep, giving this false idea, this imagination, or this whim in inheritance to our children. And they also keep running after people, places, and things. And that is Maya. Maya makes you run after people, places, and things in the hope that you will find happiness there. But happiness is not there. Happiness is when you realize you are a happy soul, child of the ocean of happiness. But you don't make effort in this direction, because you will not realize just by knowing. You will have to make effort. You will have to follow Baba's directions for that. But Maya doesn't allow you to make effort in this direction. Maya says, leave this direction, go in that direction, make a little effort, you'll get it there. And then children leave Baba. So Baba says that you divorce Baba. This is why you are told to remain cautious. Yes, this is why Baba says, don't remain cautious. So, you make one mistake. So, attractions and repulsions will keep knocking your door. And if you just listen to it once, then it will come barging in. So Baba says, remain very cautious. So your lust, anger, ego, attachment, and greed will every day be called out to. Do you see people, places, and things calling out to your lust, anger, ego, attachment, and greed? All the time. And then if you open the door once, then you are in the trap. So Baba says, remain very cautious. Stay so happy, so peaceful inside that you don't listen to these callings. And Baba says that when a child divorces his father, the father would say, I sustained you and yet you left me. Here you have to serve others to make them similar to yourself. Will you not help me in this? Instead, you divorce me and defame my name. So Baba says, I sustained you. I gave you knowledge, love, everything. And then what did you do? You left me. I was looking forward to you. So, when a child grows up, the parent looks forward to the child, that the child will take care of the younger brothers and sisters. And Baba says, I am looking forward to you to be my helper. And then you take all the sustenance and you leave suddenly, then I am not happy. So Baba tells that I need you to be my helper in this task of world transformation. So when you take sustenance from me, you understand that Baba is looking up to me to be his helper. So I cannot just abandon Baba one day and leave. Yes. Do you know Baba recognizes each one of you? You might think that you are one in the crowd, but Baba recognizes each one of you, each one of us. And Baba recognizes me, Baba recognizes each one sitting here. And Baba is looking forward to us to complete this task of world transformation. So Baba says, be very careful that Maya doesn't, cut one of Baba's hands. And we are each one hand that Baba is looking forward to carry out his task. So be very self-aware. Don't fall into Maya's trap of attraction and deception. Okay, and for that, regular murli, regular yoga, purity is very important. Yes. You just listen to one worldly debate, you listen to one opinion of the world, and do you know how much your eye of knowledge closes? Then there is no clarity of knowledge. So if you see, hear, eat stuff, or do activities which are impure, then Baba says all this comes in the line of not being cautious. So Baba says, be very careful, be very cautious about your purity. Purity of the eyes, purity of the ears, purity of food, purity of conduct, celibacy. Baba says, be very careful about listening to Murli every day, staying in connection with Baba, remembrance of Baba, staying in soul consciousness. If you don't do all of this, then Maya will come and you will not be able to discern that this is desire, this is attraction, this is fear, and you will get pulled by it. And one of Baba's child will be lost. So Baba says, you are my hands, I am looking forward to you. Be very cautious of Maya. Okay? Om Shanti.